Hi, my name is Joe and welcome back to the Dark Souls map challenge, where we try to recreate the map of Dark Souls entirely from memory without looking anything up in between, without replaying the game, without watching any footage over the game, just pure memory. And today we're taking care of Anor Londo. So I'm starting with the rectangular shape on the left side because it's the easiest to start with that to get the spacing right. Go down a little stairway to go to a bonfire room. There's also the Firekeeper NPC. And there are two statues of Ornstein and Smough and 3 chests, one of which is a mimic, and 4 guardians guarding the chests. Also 2 guardians on the outer balconies. This balcony leads to the place where you enter by Gargoyle Airlines. This place that I just drew was where we enter. The other side actually leads up to the next place. This goes over to Duke's Archive, but is for the moment guarded by a golden fog gate, which disappears when you place the Lord Vessel. Not just have it, place it at the kiln. There's a reason to not place the Lord Vessel. We'll go over that in the second to next episode. So not the next one, but the one after that. So next episode will be Darkroot Garden. The second to next episode will be Anor Londo. So from this elevator that you can reach from the main overview point, you can go around the lower part to get an item that's in a chest. I don't know what's in that. The bridge leads nowhere. There's just a gargoyle on it, so you have to jump to this rafter, drop down to a balcony and enter this church-like building, where there are the assholes who are throwing knives at you, and one of them is ambushing you from the top, jumping behind you. So you have to climb up a little ladder going into the rafters of the building, where you're constantly molested by guys throwing daggers at you. In the middle of this, in the middle of the rafters, you will encounter a chain that you can cut down, so you can make a chandelier fall down, which will give you an item a second later. Here you see me correcting what I think this looks like and then correcting it back because I actually figured out how it looks like. So at the end of the rafters, there's a little thing where you can go down a ladder, which will get you to a platform, from which you can jump to another platform, from which you can jump to another platform that has a chest with an item that I don't remember what it is. You have to go up the stairway again, jump back to the middle platform, jump to the other side platform, go up a stairway again, and then you are where we left off. So you go out there, you have to pull a lever to make the rotating staircase go up. So you have actually now connected the bridge, so you can fight the gargoyle and the other gargoyle that is there, because I think there are 2 gargoyles there. So this staircase obviously ascends down and up and gives us like 2 access points to go to. If you go straight forward from here, you go up a big staircase, which leads you to the entrance of a cathedral, and we'll start with the interior of the cathedral first because it's best to start with that for spacing reasons. So there's like an upper floor in there, but I'll draw that later. So you go straight through the cathedral, up a little stairway, and you enter the Ornstein and Smough boss room, which I'm not quite sure whether Ornstein is left and Smough is right or the other way around. So if it's the other way around, then these elevators that I just drew have to be changed. If you defeat Ornstein and Smough, you get your bonfire up there, you go through a little door into a room. Guinevere's there, she will give you the Lord Vessel, which will allow you to warp from now on. This is the thing that you have to place in the kiln or not, according to whether you want to have Framed or Carth. So this is a little outside balcony that I drew. It has a bow on it, like the big bow that the Silver Knights used to shoot at you. And the other thing was the Giant Smith, the NPC that I drew up there. He is directly sitting in front of an item that you have to roll behind him to get that item. That item is, I think that's the Hawk Ring, which makes you shoot better. Otherwise, the Giant Smith is selling Twinkling Titanite, and I think it's the only merchant that does so. Inside this, there's like an upper balcony. You go up like a snaking stairway to get there, and that's what I'm drawing now. There are 2 guards in here. I'm not sure on their starting placement. There are also 2 guards in front of the main cathedral gate, and the other little enemies there are like the fleshy gargoyles, same-ish to the variant that brought you here, but this is actually the Warring faction, as you can learn from item descriptions. You go down a little rafter to the one outstanding strut building there, and then you can go up the rafter towards these assholes, which are Silver Knights who are pelting you with arrows. There's also a little item on one of the edges. So you go around a little corner and drop down to a little balcony, go around a left corner where there is a bonfire. And in a moment from now I will realize that this doesn't make sense, because this is not the same floor as the floor that's connected to the inside of the building, so I'm copying it for the 3 floors that this building has. It has also another interesting thing, which is a double spiral staircase that is like a helix. So this is the one part of the staircase that you can go up from the place that you can go to from the inner part of the cathedral. You go up here, go up the staircase, and you end up on the roof of the side building, from which you can go down several of the side spiral staircases to actually go into the lower part. Also, you can go down this staircase to a building, to a room that allows you to access a shortcut later. But let's start with the spiral staircase. That's actually the connecting part between the 2 other floors. This is not the same spiral staircase as the other one, it's the intertwined one. So the upper floor of these actually attaches to the outer spiral staircases, which I'm drawing here. These spiral staircases, these are the lower parts, they actually have rooms around the lower part of the staircase, and in the left one of these rooms is where you meet Siegmeyer. You must help him to get out of the room to let the story continue. This is an illusory wall, which you're tipped off by a window that's in that hallway, which leads you to a stairway, which leads you to the cellar of the building, in which it's very dark and you can hear Mimic breathe, because there are 5 chests, one of which is a Mimic. It contains the harvest set, the 4 chests contain the harvest set, the Mimic contains the occult club, which you can use against the catacombs later, against the skeletons in the catacombs later. There are a few Silver Knights guarding all these items around here, and next to the bonfire there's also sitting Solaire, which I should mention, but let's concentrate on the spiral staircase now. So if the rotating staircase outside. So if you rotate it all the way around so that it's at the lowest possible position, you can get to the lower part of the first cathedral-like building you went to, which has the entrance to the Painted World of Ariamis, for which you need the doll from the Undead Asylum if you revisit that. And if you go down, there's actually a bonfire there and an illusory statue which you have to pass through to get to the boss fight. That's against Gwyn's son. Gwyn's son, whose name I don't remember. Gwyndolin. His name is Gwyndolin. So you can fight Gwyndolin there, and if you defeat him you get the brass set, and also the Firekeeper of Anor Londo becomes hostile. There are 2 ways to get to the boss fight, one of which is to kill Guinevere, who you get to after the Ornstein and Smough boss fight. The other way is to get the Dark Moon Sion's Ring, whose location I will point out once we take care of the catacombs. So we're almost done with with the map. I think I pointed out everything that's mostly important. Some more details are on the map that you can see if you look at the proper map, which is linked in the description. Have a nice day. See you next week with the Darkroot Garden.